Topping today's news, two men said to be brother-in-laws stabbed and chopped each other to death. The National Security Minister reacts to 178 men on bail for murder and the murder count reaching triple digits. The Bahamas officially receives the bones of 3 Lucayan Indians, the first inhabitants of the Bahamas, and some import shipping companies under the microscope after mounting customer complaints. I'm Jcn Saunders. This is your JCN Evening News. It's definitely a pleasure to have you join us. 2 adult males are dead today following a dispute which occurred on Tuesday shortly before 6 p.m. at a residence off Malcolm Road. According to initial reports, the males, who are known to each other and are reportedly brothers-in-law, were at a home on Muttonfish Drive when they got into a physical altercation. Police say during the altercation, one of the males produced a sharp instrument and stabbed the other. Upon arrival at the residence, police officers found one of the males, age 42, unresponsive, and he was pronounced dead at the scene. The second male, age 38, suffered severe lacerations to the neck and upper body, believed to be by cutlass, and was transported to the hospital by emergency medical services, where he later succumbed to his injuries. Police investigations continue into this incident that takes the number of murders this year to 104. While attending the presentation ceremony to mark the historic return of the Lucayan bones back to the Bahamas, the Minister of National Security, Wayne Munro, was asked to respond to comments by the Commissioner of Police, Clayton Fernanda, who lamented the fact that there are scores of men on bail for murder. First, here is what the Commissioner had to say while on the scene of Monday's triple murder in Fox Hill.
178 individuals on bail for murder. This is where the retaliation continued to happen. This is where this retaliation continued to happen. I feel that they should have their day in court and move swiftly. No bail. Move swiftly. You can imagine 178 individuals behind bars. That reduce the fear of crime, and you will see crime continue to trend down. But it have to happen. The punishment have to fit the crime with respect to guns that are on our streets.
The Minister of National Security himself, an astute attorney, explained the following as to why so many men charged with murder or attempted murder could be released back into the community on bail.
Well, as was indicated, that's a basis upon which the DPP's office is objecting to the bail. Public safety, personal safety. Ultimately, the decision is for the court. We have to be concerned about increasing the efficiency of the courts trying these persons charged with murder. And so that also is a system issue that has to be addressed. But the office of the DPP indicates that they object on that basis, and then they seek to appeal. But if you don't try the person in a reasonable time, then this is going to happen. So people have to appear for jury duty, don't duck jury service, and then when you have to give evidence, show up and participate with the process.
As for the man on bail for murder who police believe was the intended target of Monday's triple shooting, Mr. Munro said although he was initially taken into custody by police, he cannot be lawfully held unless he surrenders his bail or a bail application is made to have his bail revoked. In 2023, there were 110 murders on record, down from 128 murders in 2022. And on Monday, following a triple shooting in the Fox Hill community, the number of murders for 2024 leaped into the triple digits. Earlier in the year, police had a goal of keeping the murder count under 100 for the year. Well, on Tuesday, the Minister of National Security, Wayne Munro, was asked if there are any special initiatives to ensure that the 2024 murder count does not surpass that of 2022 or even that of 2015, when there were 146 murders on record.
What is an acceptable number? 1 is too much. You know, there's some special number that if you keep it under that, it's okay. The first time you raise a young man who's comfortable killing somebody and you have no concern about it, you're going to raise more and more and more. People need to focus. These are your children. You know where they keep the guns. You know what they're doing. If you are not participating and making reports to the police, you're part of the problem. And under the new Anti-Gang Act, if you know what is happening and you're facilitating it, you are committing an offense too.
Following a double murder where two males known to each other stabbed and chopped each other to death while at a residence on Malcolm Road on Tuesday evening, again, the murder count now stands at 104. And finally, after nearly 100 years, the remains of at least 3 Lucayan Indian natives to the Bahamas have been returned home. For almost a century, the remains were sitting in a museum in Michigan under the possession of Michigan State University Museum. But Tuesday, they were received by Prime Minister Philip Davis on behalf of the nation and the Bahamas Antiquities, Monuments, and Museum Corporation. Numerous government officials, students, residents, and tourists gathered in Rawson Square and Parliament Square to witness the historic presentation ceremony. Here is Prime Minister Philip Davis.
Today we gather here to witness a moment that is both deeply reflective and profoundly meaningful for our national story. It's a moment where part of our past, held far from our shores for nearly a century, has finally returned home. The remains of the Lucayans, our ancestors, the first people of these islands, have traveled back to us, closing a chapter that began with their removal by George R. Fox from Watkins Island, now known as San Salvador, nearly 100 years ago. These bones, resting in a Michigan University storage facility since 1952, are now reunited with the land and legacy that first gave them life.
Prime Minister Davis also noted that the return of the bones is not only important to Bahamian history, but also to the spirit of our culture, as we are heavily influenced by the customs of our predecessors.
These stories of courage and survival are more than just history lessons. They are the foundation of who we are as a people. They remind us that our heritage is not just a collection of events, but a testament to the resilience that runs through our blood.
He concluded by emphasizing that the stories of Lucayan Indians' survival is more than just a history lesson, but a testament to the resilience that runs through the Bahamian blood. You're listening to JCN News. We'll take a break here. We'll be right back after these commercials.